It's February 2024, and I'm visiting the Barview Jetty Campground. The campground is operated by Tillamook County, and it certainly isn't a secret, as there's a sign out on Highway 101 marking the entrance to the park. However, I think that the county campgrounds along the coast are much less well known than the campgrounds operated by the state. The campground is located right on the beach, on the north side of the entrance to Tillamook Bay. It's a large campground that contains both RV and tent campsites. I had an RV site with full hookups. The RV sites tended to be relatively close to each other and with few trees or shrubs, so they were not very private. From the campground, there are multiple access points to get to the beach. I headed to the closest one, which was pretty much due west, leading to a path to the beach. Here I'm walking past some of the tent campsites. As you can probably see, there's lots of shrubs and trees, so these are more private. For the future, I think I prefer the more natural feeling and the privacy of the tent sites. I've now reached the sandy trail leading to the beach. Looking to the north, the beach stretches off into the far distance. To the south, on the left-hand side of the screen, you can see the jetty projecting out into the sea. From an aerial view, you can see both the north and the south jetty, and the inlet to Tillamook Bay between the two jetties. You may be able to see a fishing boat in the middle just beyond the ends of the two jetties. It's interesting to watch boats navigate the entry into the bay. To get a closer look at the jetty, I walked along a road on the south side of the campground that actually goes up onto the jetty. As you can see, there are cars that are parked up on the jetty. The sign on the large rock indicates that the jetty is not for public use and that you enter the area at your own risk. Of course, jetties can be dangerous. There can be high waves or sneaker waves that easily wash a person away. So one should be careful and avoid the jetty if conditions look at all dangerous, and be constantly aware of the ocean and wave activity. For the first part of the jetty, there's a relatively flat path down the middle that's easy to walk. As we'll see in a moment, that changes as you go further out. Looking to the north, you of course see the beach, and I think far in the distance that's Cape Falcon, which is just past Nehalem Bay. Looking in the opposite direction, there's the channel for the entry into Tillamook Bay, the South Jetty, and in the far distance, Cape Meares and possibly Cape Lookout. I used a telephoto lens to get this view of the further out portions of the jetty. There's no path here, just a jumble of huge rocks. It also seems that this part of the jetty is not as high above the waves, so it's both much more difficult to walk and more dangerous. Near the jetty, there's a short path to an observation point on a small hill. It makes a great place to view the ocean and the beach. And just a short distance from the observation point, there's a path leading down to the beach. On this trip, I visited Cape Meares. If traveling from the Barview Jetty Campground, you have to drive around Tillamook Bay to get to Cape Meares. But it's a great place, and I think it's well worth the drive. Cape Meares is known for its lighthouse and stunning views of the ocean. It's a short walk from the parking lot to get to the lighthouse and the cliff overlooking the ocean. Path winds down some switchbacks to get to the base of the lighthouse. Looking directly ahead, you can see some offshore rocks with arches. Although the lighthouse is the shortest on the Oregon coast, it sits on a high cliff and could be seen for more than 20 miles at sea. The lighthouse was first put into service in 1890. I also visited the Port of Garibaldi, which is just down the road on Highway 101 from the Barview Campground. The marina is a colorful place with a mixture of charter fishing boats and what are probably some private boats. I also visited the Kilchis Point Reserve, which is a little further down Highway 101, located in Bay City. The reserve contains several trails that wind through a natural area. I chose a route that took me down to the shore of Tillamook Bay. As you near the bay shoreline, there's a nice covered shelter. From the shelter I could see the waters of Tillamook Bay through the trees, and I continued walking to get down to the shore. As I looked out in the bay, I could see some large wading birds in the distance. With a telephoto lens, I could get a better look at this lovely egret. I also saw a great blue heron. And here's another view of an egret. I'll close with a colorful sunset over the ocean at Barview Jetty Campground. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.